It's called the Pilates Reformer machine, and it works with tension, it works with springs. So down in here, I'll not tilt the cameras and things, but down in here there's basically a whole series of springs, and that's how we adjust and we work with tension. So fantastic from a rehabilitation point of view, because we're working with the springs and we're primarily working with the muscles in a lengthening while strengthening. Those of you a wee bit more clued up in your anatomy, through the eccentric phase of contraction, this is where the rehab basis of Pilates and on the reformer comes in. Now, some of you might be familiar with Pilates done on the mat, because for most of us,
most people tend to start, and that's what you hear about.
And Pilates, of course, is that. And Linda, you kind of joined the classes here.
Yeah, several years ago.
Yeah, years and years ago, and then loved it so much, and then went on and did our teacher training.
Yeah.
So mat Pilates is very much part of Pilates, and as is the equipment, and we wanted to just show you and almost like debunk this a wee bit and not make it as scary as it may look, because it does look a wee bit
complicated.
Yeah, it can be quite intimidating, and we forget sometimes how intimidating it can be.
Yeah, so we've been holding trial reformer nights on a Thursday night since the beginning of the year, and it's been interesting seeing how people come in and think, oh my god, what did you hear, such, which is really why we decided to do today, just to give people a bit more information and understanding on it, and let you see how much it can actually do for you. It's a fantastic machine.
Yeah, exactly. So almost just see what it can do. So without that, let's just get some movement. Yeah. So when you come into your class, we've got this thing here called a box. We have mats on top just for extra padding, and also we've got our sticky mat here as well to stop you sliding. So I'll set it up for Linda, and I'll set it all up for you. I'll put your headdress up. You're welcome. This is what we do. Yeah. And then we'll do some footwork to start off with. So if you lie yourself down. Okay. So initially we kind of start from the feet down.
Yes.
We start from the feet up. And we take everything working through your whole kinetic chain. So the first thing that we're going to do with Linda here, and what Linda does when she comes in, is she gets herself lined up. So she starts from her feet and she's thinking about, are my legs hip width apart? What part of my feet are touching the bar here? And she's looking at whether it's toes, arches, heels, wherever it is. And we work various parts of your feet. So I usually start on my toes, there's no rules there.
Got the toes on.
So initially what I would do is get the legs hip width apart. Linda's obviously a teacher, she's very in tune with her body, so there's not much adjustments needed in that sense, but most of us might have a different, we might be quite squinty or just out of alignment there, maybe have really wide through the hips, all these kind of things going on. So she looks good there. We've got even mattage here, her shoulders are good, Linda, the head's right in the middle.
Not rolled down.
She's doing okay. It's always good to get a wee set of eyes on you. So the first thing we're going to do is she's going to engage her core's engaged, her pelvic floor's up. She's going to have a heel lift, she's going to lift the heels up. And the key there is just to maintain the height. It doesn't matter how high she is or how low she is, it's just can she maintain wherever she is. We'll take a big deep breath in and she'll start to move at a rhythm. So we're just warming up. And what she's doing here is she's moving through the reformer. The springs down here, I don't know if you can see them actually in that. The springs down here, she's controlling the springs, right? She's not just letting Linda do a wee bash. See what it is? Right? So she's not out of control. So she's working the springs, that's right. She's working the springs as much as they're working her. So she's controlling that kind of eccentric phase of that contraction. Perfect. Now from here, let's take you onto the arches of your feet, Linda. So go into the arches, bring your toes to your nose, so draw up. Inhale, exhale, in your own time, moving. So we're just getting her moving, she's controlling. I'm kind of looking here, is she doing anything? She's rotating her feet out. And Linda on this side, she likes to laterally load her feet for whatever reason. We've got Linda's, she's not 25 anymore.
This is where I come flap her. 26
so
pure aches and pains.
We've got some osteoarthritis there, which is normal. We've all got wear and tear. We're over the age of 35, we're all going to have some wear and tear.
That's better, over the age of 35.
So Linda is compensating. She has got some hip problems with her arthritis, so you can see it. You can see this a mile away. So heels on, Linda. And then toes to the nose again, and just again, so she's just warming herself up. Not do too many here, so I'm going to give her a full workout. Let's go into tendon stretch. So she's going to put her toes on. So Achilles tendon here. So we'll let her heels go underneath, and she'll do a few. There's a wee question there, so I'll just jump on and see if I can. Hi, oh, it's Jamie. Oh, Jamie's there. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Who's there? there, looking great. Jamie Shields is there, Craig is there, hi. Shout out, let us know where you're watching from as well. Arlene's on watching. So let us know if you're from Glasgow, whereabouts in Glasgow, Scotland, or further afield. So she can pedal her feet here as well, so we're really working, so any kind of tendinopathy, any kind of pathology down your feet, instability, lateral ankle instability, all fabulous, working up into problems with the knees, hips, backs. So bring that in, Linda. We'll get to do a wee shoulder bridge.
Yep,
sound
great.
good?
Okay.
So this might be an exercise that you recognise if you do mat-based Pilates. So we'll do a shoulder bridge. I'm very much of the school of thought that whatever bit of your feet feels comfortable there, put it on. Pop your headrest down, Linda, if it's not already down. So we want to have our headrest down because we're going to be lifting our bottom up and increasing the load towards the neck. So we want to make sure that the headrest is down. We're not putting undue stresses in an awkward position in the neck, so it's down. So we've got a nice control. Linda's fit and healthy here. She can handle this no problem. She'll take an inhale breath, exhale. She'll start to move. She's peeling her spine one vertebrae at a time. Fabulous for the glutes, fabulous for the inner thighs, getting that pelvic stability. Fabulous if you've got any kind of issues. Bring that back down, Linda. You just keep moving through that. So this exercise here, if you back pain, hip pain, pelvic instability, after just having a baby literally 8 weeks ago, this is in my absolute to-do. We're focusing through the pelvic floor here as well. You can hear Linda breathing. Okay, she's got all that going on in buckets. Let's do a wee single leg lift on that to show the difference. So she'll come up into shoulder bridge. This would maybe be a more advanced move. She's lifting one leg up. There's a whole series of things we'll do here. She's got some lovely stuff going on. She's focusing on keeping her hips nice and level as she does this. Now this would be quite advanced. This is a lot harder than Linda's making it look. I couldn't do this right now with my pelvis. And then we'll pop that down. We'll do the other side, make sure she's level. You can see this lovely stability that Linda's got. A lot of times we'll see this kind of drop of the pelvis with maybe get some weakness through the glutes. A lot of people that get back pain, a high percentage of you will have problems through your glutes. There's some questions. Linda, just do another couple. Watching in sunny London. Welcome from sunny London, Jamie. And we've got Janice there, Jamie's there, Craig's there, Morgan's there. Kirsty's on as well.
Good. She should be here.
She should be here, Kirsty. You should be here. And then she's bringing that down. So a whole lot of things going on there. A fabulous movement. And even if you're watching this from home, you could simply do. You don't need a reformer to do this. You obviously wouldn't do the pushing out and in that Linda did. You could easily do this just lying on the floor.
The thing about that though is it is really good for the glutes, for the hamstrings, for everything. But even for me with my creaky old hip, it's tremendous and it's really helped strengthen it. Also years ago, lower back pain, it's got rid of all that. I cannot praise this machine highly enough. I don't think I'd be walking by now if it wasn't for the reformer, and that's no exaggeration.
Yeah. And this is like, Linda's kind of background here was, she came as a client, she came in and got the benefits. Linda was a runner, you ran marathons, you were an avid runner.
Yes.
But
in fact, the last half marathon that I did, I started in here in the May several years ago. Then I ran the Glasgow half marathon in September, October, and actually took 6 minutes off my time. Now the only difference to my training schedule was the reformer. It just lengthens and strengthens. It's wonderful. Lower back, pelvis, glutes, a lot. I actually started to engage the glutes, which was a lot late.
I like to call it lazy bum syndrome.
Lazy bum.
A lot of us do have that weakness through the glute medius. So you've got different muscles that rotate your pelvis. There's actually 11 external rotators of your pelvis. So there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people might have issues with their lower back and think that it's some mechanical problem with the spine or the lower back. And in most instances, there's this weakness around the glutes. Now that's obviously very sweeping statement. That's not everybody, but for a lot of clients, they have this weakness there. They have a weakness in their body somewhere around that pelvis. So a lot of the things we do in here is stabilising and strengthening. We really strengthen the body while we're lengthening the body. So we've got that stretching and strengthening combined. It's a rehab joy. Joseph Pilates was 50 years ahead of his time in inventing this machine. Let's do 100. We'll do 100. Okay. So we're going to change the springs. We'll leave it yellow and orange on. So you can see how easily Linda's changing that. She's going to head on down, she's going to pick up the straps. So we've got straps up here that allow us to do lots of arm work as well. Now this exercise that Linda's going to do is a core exercise primarily, but it is a full body warm up exercise. She's got herself set up and just crack on into it. Inhale, exhale, up. Now so we'll do the 100, which is about that's it. So she's up, she's pulsing, she's going, she's got her legs out at an angle. We can make this easier so some of us wouldn't be able to cope with that. We could even have one leg down. We don't necessarily need to use the straps, but we've got this core activation here. She's breathing and it's pretty tough. It does get you warm. Right, let's from here take your legs out of the straps. We don't need to do a full one. So it's called the 100, you generally do 100 breaths. Obviously we didn't do there, but this is really just to show you a quick kind of whirlwind round. So you see how easily Linda got her legs in there? That can be quite intimidating for a new person. We would always show you all the safety and things, how to get into these positions. So Linda's got a bit of tightness, like most runners, through our lower limbs, IT bands, hamstrings, these kind of things. So we're going to do a little bit of work through the hamstrings here. So let's just do some activation of the hammies. So if you push down towards my hand, okay, she wants to keep her bum nice and down on the ground and then bring it back. Linda, just do a couple more of them. So we've just got an activation of the hamstrings, and then what she's then trying to relax as she's getting a passive stretch through these straps, which is coming from the tension on the springs. Lovely.
Fabulous.
It does feel lovely.
Stretches out.
We're going to move on to more pelvic stability now. She's going to go into some leg circles. So I usually always encourage clients to feel their pelvis, see what their pelvis is doing. For many of us, as we do this, we've got this movement and lack of ability to maintain stability there. Linda doesn't have any problems with that. Now she's obviously got arthritis in the hip, so she's got to be mindful of that. We can see we've got this rotation happening up at the hip joint, so the femur, the thigh bone up here coming into the hip. She's rotating this and making those muscles, internal and external rotators, have to work with the opposite direction, Linda, as she does this. So we've got all these rotators, hip rotators, all kicking in as she does this, and as she controls it, because she's going down, she's working against the tension of the springs. Let's go into your frogs. So she's got this rotation of the pelvis again, pushing out. So here she's got an internal rotation of the hips, pushing out, external at the knee. And I always like to imagine you've got a little zip here, that you're zipping up through those adductors, those inner thighs. And then let's get a wee short spine. Do you feel okay doing a short spine today? Yeah. So she'll bring her shoulders a wee bit away from the shoulder rest to allow some space. She's up. She's then going to bend the knees towards the head, get length through the spine. This is lovely. Drawing everything in and then controlling this down and getting a lovely release. What's that feel like, Linda?
Oh, fabulous.
Brilliant
to be all the way up there. No.
Really nice.
Tremendous to control.
A stretch and
love
through the back here.
The lower back. It really is, I mean,
it's really nice.
Look a bit weird, but it's fantastic.
A lot of these things can look quite scary. Right, we'll take it off. Let's do a little hamstring release with an IT band release. Okay, so we'll take the right strap out, or take the pick. That right foot's going to go onto the foot bar. Now all of this would be taught. Linda knows what she's doing here. She's going to straighten out this leg. So she's got to stretch on the hamstring here, a little bit into the calves. We could take this into a wee dorsiflexion if we want, but it's quite nice to have this here in this contracted state because it keeps the strap in place. So all I want you to do, Linda, is bend this knee and facilitate a stretch of the hamstring on this side. Okay, and that's it. So she's in control of the stretch here. Let's take this now through into the IT band. So we're going to keep this leg straight. She's going to take this leg over, bring the hand up, pull, and we can feel, this is lovely.
You can feel my pain.
Now Linda's obviously, she's got arthritis.
And a half.
Yeah, so we're really getting the TFL, the tension fascial latae, down here, down through the we're just releasing through the IT band. We'll not be stretching the IT band. We don't have the ability to do that. The amount of force you need to stretch the IT band, we're not going to get from this. She's then using her hand here and pulling and easing that off. So Linda's obviously a runner. This is an area that she really needs to focus on, all the way down through the limb here. She'll probably feel this down through the knee and even further down at the toenails as well. Now, if we want to intensify that, Linda can bend her right knee. So if you bend that knee, and then she's in control of what she's doing there. She's trying to breathe through that. How does that feel? So she's getting the hamstring release first here. She's focusing on keeping kind of sacrum area, lower back area down. We always like to kind of see things like, look at that really tight, kind of velcro down, and then when she's ready and she feels that she's able to, she can take that into her IT. She's pulling that down, she's fully in control of this. So she's getting this release up through the glutes, TFL, down through the IT bands, peroneals, probably a wee bit into the peroneals down here. You might feel it all the way right down that lateral body. So for runners, absolutely prime. A lot of people with knee problems and hip problems, the iliotibial bands can very much be associated to that. So we're just trying to release. But the amount of force that you need, I think it's something like 900 tons of force is needed to stretch your IT band. So we ain't going to stretch that thing. I'm just telling you to stretch that.
It just feels like it.
Yeah, it's the tissues around it, okay, that you're releasing that are going to do the job, and compression and things, that all your foam rolling and stuff are all great for that, but you ain't stretching that structure, that band. Right, bring that back and let's take us out of that. Feel good?
Yeah, great. Tremendous stretch.
She's in control of that with just how she bends and straightens her leg on that side. Okay, why don't we go into some arm work here?
Yeah,
we
sure.
do. Actually, no, we'll do some short box stuff. All springs on, Linda, and then I'll do the box. And we'll do some back bends and some tree. We'll do back bends and tree. Nice. Does that feel okay for your hip when you're doing that?
Oh, it's great.
Nice.
Because
get that stretch.
So we'll do stretch really from.
So you find you get that decompression from the hip.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So this exercise I'm going to do, see, because of Linda has got arthritis in her right hip, there's one of them that we do in here that's fabulous, because it's almost like she gets it's like traction, basically. So she gets this release from her hip. Right, so the first one we're going to do is just warm the spine up. We're going to do some back bends. This is much more about core and back extension, so getting some extension in the spine. So arms out, we could use dowels, but we'll keep it quite simple. We could use all sorts of props here, but let's just keep this simple. So what I generally say is take an inhale breath, exhale, and push your back into my hand. I'm just going to just start warming that up. I would then get her back in and up, just doing a few of them. There isn't a magic number. I wouldn't say do 10, do 20, do 5. Just do as many as you feel it. Okay, so she's just warming that up. And sometimes as teachers, we have to give, if you're teaching a group class, we give do 8, because you have to have an idea. But generally in here, we try and keep it as specific and to your own body as possible. And then if Linda feels comfortable doing so, she could go back into a back bend when she's ready. But again, you're not going to, your life isn't going to end if you don't ever do a back bend ever in your life.
Oh, but it's lovely.
But it feels glorious. She'll also be getting this release through her rec fem, our quadriceps here, and into the hip flexor. So our psoas feels really nice. So into that hip, where she might be feeling quite tight.
Yeah, really good.
So really lovely. So we'll do one more of them for the purposes of those. Do you do stuff? Absolutely, Johnny. We do loads for beginners. This is just a wee walk through of what happens in reformer. But as a beginner coming to this, you would do what's called a fundamental Pilates. And when the video's finished, I'll post up all the links and information for you guys to check out. So absolutely, for beginners, absolutely. And we had a lady today who only done her fundamentals, and she did a back bend today.
Yeah,
it was
she
her first
really
class.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
She was like amazed she could do it. I was like, you can. And yeah, she walked out with a huge big smile on her face. She was like, oh, I think I'd ever be able to do that.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Right, let's do tree.
Okay.
So we've got a whole lot going on here, and I'll talk to you about some of the things that she's doing, why we're doing it, the structures that we're working. So she's choosing that thing. So what we do with this, we bring her in nice and close. Now, immediately see if we've got any tightness through our back. What happens is we slump back, right? So as soon as we bring that in, we kind of do this. So we want to be upright, nice and long, a little point through the toe. Let's get the tib post back here a bit. Yeah, so she's going to kick the legs, hold that up. We're a bit mad in here. She's holding that. She brings her head to her shin, and then her foot's in the strap here. That keeps her nice and safe. And then she leans back. Now this is where the beauty is. Now Linda, get the benefit of this. Stay there. I want you to keep your head there, right? So I'm going to adapt this a little bit from the norm, just because of her arthritis. And then I want her to go further back and get this traction there. Feel that?
Ooh, yeah, the other leg's shaking. I feel that.
Walk your hands down. And then go into your back bend. Now she's got the support of this here, and now she's getting this glorious release here. Okay, through the rec fem, through the quadriceps, through the hip flexor, so your psoas, down into the abdominals here, up our upper body, the extension through the spine. This leg isn't really doing an awful lot, but it's there for her to then tuck her chin into her chest, bring your hands to your thighs, walk up the tree, Bring your head, and then we'll just change legs there. Well done.
Oh, what a stretch. Fantastic.
So you can see all the structures that are being influenced there. A lot of these positions, now that looks like quite an advanced position, but really it's not. It just comes down to what your body's able to do.
Yeah,
Move
just
good.
running it all together.
Yeah.
If somebody like me with an arthritic hip and knee can get to that stage, so can you.
We're going to do this on the other side. Let's see.
1, 2, 3.
Well done. You can see that
all the way
focus in
up.
Linda. Now this is her arthritic hip, so she's got to work this. We don't want any imbalances and instability, and then lean back when you're ready. Okay, now you can see immediately she's got more mobility in this side. You can see that.
Feels much better.
Okay, so there's none of that spasm and that shake like there was on the previous side. Okay, so just because you've got arthritis, just because you've got an injury or something you don't stop moving, you don't stop working unless there's some reason, which I can't think why you would ever not want to move. Okay, but you want to move, you want to rehab, you want to build strength and build that up. Okay, or you're just going to waste away your muscles. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Motion is lotion. Quote of the day, motion is lotion. But she's right.
Well, we do some waist work, do some sideline stuff, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So, Linda needs to put her foot and leg like that. Now, there's adaptations no matter where you're coming from.
Other people can do things like this.
To do it at a good hip. Right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter where, obviously, you need to be able to walk into the studio for us to be able to work with you. If you can't walk in, then we're not right for you. Okay, that's not to say we can't work with you, but you'd really need to check first with us where you're at. If you're able to walk into the studio, then we're able to adapt things. As long as we do a full health screening and look at your whole systemic health and make sure that you're safe, of course we would do that. But generally, as long as you're able to walk, we can work with you. Okay, so don't let your arthritis or your joints or your just had a baby, all these things that you might be thinking,
just
I'm not
a
fit
baby,
enough, 8 weeks
arthritis.
ago. Yeah, so please don't let all that worry you.
Yeah.
We're not all body perfect in here, okay, we're very normal. Put your hands up, Linda, so she's going to lengthen through these arms, and what I'm going to get her to do is reach over towards that wall. So I want to create length here first, and then take that arm down as far as you can. Let's just get a nice stretch, take that over. So we're just aiming to, actually my kind of thing here is the QL, right? So the quadratus lumborum of the back, and again can be very much linked to like a Trendelenburg type gait where you're hiking the hip up, and again can be linked to lower back pain. There's loads of other things as well. Bring that up in your own time, Linda. So just going to engage the core, and we'll do a couple of wee core work. So rather than the stretchy stuff, so wherever you want your arms, and then just work the waist. And what Linda's going to do, she's going to have a play here, and you can see how you can chisel away your waist here. She's just going down and up. She's also getting, just as part of that, she's getting this release down that lateral side of her body. So you'd like to put on. So we can totally play about with the springs to get different types of muscle activation or strength or stretch or whatever it is we're doing. So she's waiting for kind of middle of the range, which is kind of ideal for swan really. So we're going to have, she's lying on, you saw her getting on. There's a lot of things in reformer classes that aren't very glamorous getting in and out of. So yeah, so you're seeing the real thing. So push yourself back, extend through the arms, keep them nice and straight. She's engaged through her core, buttocks, all these things are engaged. She's then pushing her hands down, engaging through the muscles, through the back, the latissimus dorsi, the serratus anterior, all these muscles here, shoulders back, down, and she's extending through the spine. She's thinking about lengthening the vertebrae, lengthening the spine as she moves, getting the stretch through the core and getting that extension through the spine. We can do like one arm work, working, rehabbing through the arms and things here as well. But what we're doing here is encouraging this openness through the chest, this extension through the spine. How does that feel?
Lovely. Better with 2 arms.
Yeah, it's hard, it's really hard with one arm. Okay. Really,
Again, it's a little bit challenging.
Feel nice though?
Oh, feels great. Let's
Yeah.
try the other side.
It is about challenging yourself. Sometimes just doing something simple like that, we'll do one arm, and what we'll always say to people is try and pull from underneath the armpit, because what most people do is they just extend through the lower back and load up through the lower back, and you do nothing for these muscles around here. So that if you think of those big V-shaped muscles in your back, and the muscles around the rib cage is what we're trying to encourage as well as of course working the rectus spinae. But for many of us, that's firing up far too quickly, and we're not getting anything happening here. We're doing nothing. We're lazy here. Okay, feel nice? There's tons of things we can do on that, but we just wanted to
demo it, bring it to life, explain how it works, the different levels, the different exercises. It doesn't matter what stage you're at or really what the problem is. You can come in here, it can be customised to suit you. You go at your own level, and then we try and progress you. Within your limits though, it's your exercise and it's your hour on the machine. It's brilliant, really good. Even if all you're doing is working the core and stretching a bit for the first few stages, then you can move into everything else. To say, it's just, there's so much you can do in this machine. It's fabulous. Yeah,
it really is. Can't just absolutely agree with you.
Even for old arthritic hips and post-birth babies and things like that.
That's why I look.
Can all do it. Yeah.
I am 8 weeks postpartum, so still very. Yeah.
Still very tender, I think is the word to say. Very tender.
Definitely a lot of rehab. But I was back on. I've got one of these in the house, and I was back on the reformer 2 weeks after having Sophie. Now I should reiterate, not doing a lot of what you saw there. Very much base. Postnatal level, and I'm still rehab. Absolutely, I'll be rehabbing probably for the next 6 months after my delivery. So look,
that's it.
We really truly do mean that. Like from whether you're kind of postnatal, whether it's arthritis, whether it's I don't know, maybe you feel you're too old or too unfit, or maybe you're
having a laugh. She gets another dig at me. She's going to be back in hospital.
I did not mention it. Did I mention her age? But I think but it can be a huge barrier for some people. Yeah. Even I would imagine even people that are not as senior.
Not as old as me.
But I think her age is a massive ass. I think she should be screaming her age.
No, it's great. It's really good. Yeah. Even the likes of Jamie that you've mentioned there, I mean, a professional dancer as such. Yeah. Whenever he's in Scotland, he jumps in here because he so misses the reformer.
If you look at the main page, on here it's him that's in the splits. That's Jamie.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah,
not quite yet, but hey. But of course, he takes it from his mum. I was at that when I was his age. Okay.
It's not going to happen. She's got a fixed deformity. That's it. No, but essentially, I do think for a lot of people though, it can be really daunting and really scary.
I know, I think you're right. Yeah.
Because if you're overweight, right, then you're going to have that barrier and that confidence thing, like thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Or if you're unfit, you just think you're unfit, or say you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and you've been told to do exercise, but where do you start?
That's right.
What do you do? Or if you've got an injury, you're frightened and you're protecting, and
you lose your confidence. So
all these things.
We can rebuild you.
Yeah, so please, obviously, you need to be able to, as we say, walk. As long as you're able to walk, please don't worry if you've got other systemic health. So some of you might have like type 2 diabetes, you might be a bit overweight, or you might have had other health concerns. Please just ask. Okay, we're very well versed in.
Yeah, very much so. It's a real mixture of people in here, males, females, old, young, some with some sort of issues and injuries, and some fighting fit. But there's a great community, everyone's made feel welcome, good atmosphere, good training.
We're not a big gym, okay, you're not going to come in and we do it well, but there's no gimmicks, okay, there's no bar, there's no, I don't know, there's no fancy. It's just very much a small
community. Straightforward, basic, a bit of integrity, I think is how I would describe it.
What you see is what you get.
And even the likes of the trial reformer nights we've been having on a Thursday night, we've still got a few more of them on. And you come along and it's basically just a £5 to come in and try the reformer, which is great. But if you don't like it, it's not for you, that's not a problem. Right, lovely to meet you, that's great. You know where we are if you change your mind. Though most people do tend to come back because they can't believe, even in the warm-up, the foot exercises and such, like how it connects all the way up, how they can feel the core connect. And also, if you're doing that for 50-60 minutes, when you come out, you've got headspace, your head's clear, you're re-oxygenated, your breathing's in line, you feel brand new. It's wonderful. Just don't go to the pub afterwards, okay? It's lovely. Be chilled, revitalised. I mean, look at us, hey.
okay, considering I've just had a newborn baby. I don't know if well, I'd say that, yeah, should I sleep well? But yeah, it's just what Linda said there. It is about that headspace and getting yourself set up as well. Okay, so it's so. Linda kind of mentioned something there about the trial reformer. We've got another one this Thursday, haven't we?
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
It's not on every Thursday, so it's most Thursdays. So 7 o'clock on Thursday. What I'll do when these videos all end, I'll in the comments I'll put the links to these things because there's a few questions about that. Yeah. But we'll let us all get away. I'm starving. I don't know about you. I'm still breastfeeding, so I just feel like I could eat all the time.
She's got the pump attached.
It's not attached just now. I did teach a class. This morning
with the right boob going dun 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 dun.
It wasn't quite. You would never have known, would you?
No.
You wouldn't have known. No, you wouldn't have known. It's one of these ones that go in your bra and it just pumps away. It's fabulous. Check out the LV pump.
Enough.
Yeah. Anyway, it's fab. I will sign out. From
Thank you for watching, listening.
If you're interested in attending a reformer class, we hold a trial most weeks on a Thursday evening currently, but please check out the information with this video or on our website theyogapilatesplace.com for further details. Look forward to meeting you soon.